Alright guys, the playoffs are finally here. The Toronto Staraptors have snagged the #1 overall seed in my conference, courtesy of Cheeseboy defeating Michael, Lando Bandit, in the last week of the regular season. So I did manage to sneak away with the #1 overall seed, despite my subpar performance in my conference. I was actually only 1-3, or in my division rather. I had a 1-3 record in my division, with 2 losses to Cheeseboy and 1 loss to Michael. The second loss to Cheeseboy was one that actually was not recorded, and I have several reasons for doing that, but the most notable reason was that I had 2 deaths in my family very recently, and I quite frankly haven't been in the right mind to be recording for a YouTube channel, or in addition to having a lot of schoolwork to worry about. So I kept my priorities straight in that regard. But yeah, so I apologize for not having that video uploaded, but I'll be referencing that battle a little bit, and I'll probably leave the replay to that battle in the description below if you're really interested in seeing how that match played out. But in all reality, it's not a very consequential match in that I still got the #1 overall seed despite my loss. It was a close game, and I was able to test out a few concepts that I had planned to implement if I were to encounter Cheeseboy in the playoffs. So that was kind of my goal from that match. I was hoping to win it, of course, but I wasn't prepared to reveal all of my strategies in that particular match whenever this match is the one that's actually important. So that's kind of some background information for you guys. But before I actually dive into this team building video, that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a team building video illustrating my thought process behind building this team for my upcoming playoff match with Cheeseboy, and then tomorrow I'll be uploading the actual battle, and it's a dandy, let me tell you. It's like a very, very, very crazy game. So before we dive in, just as a reminder, his team is Latios, Ferrothorn, Manaphy, Thunderous Eye, Bisharp, Gothitelle, Togekiss, Gligar, Porygon 2, Scolipede, and Mega Medicham. Now, notable threats. The biggest threat to my team all season long, hands down, Mega Medicham. If you look at what I have, even in front of you with the team that I decided to bring, and just my entire roster, which would also include Skarmory, Greninja, Alakazam, Gastrodon, Blaziken, I don't have switch-ins to Mega Medicham, and I realize that there really aren't switch-ins to Mega Medicham, not named Slowbro, but even so, I don't have a switch-in, so I have to be on the offensive throughout this game. I cannot lose momentum. If I lose momentum, I lose this game, hands down. There is no question. So I have to be very careful in how I execute my game plan and how I develop my game plan. So I put a lot of thought into this team, and I'm very proud of it, so I'm excited to share it with you here soon as well. But other notable threats are the Gothitelle, as Gothitelle in combination with Mega Medicham is even scarier, as one, my team is kind of weak to Psychic types overall. That was my fault in the drafting process. I should have been more prepared for Psychic types. But 2, Gothitelle's ability to trap me is so annoying, as my most potent sweeper, Terrakion, against Cheese's team is weak to Gothitelle, so I'm going to have to prepare for that pretty carefully. And I know for a fact that in my Week 9 matchup against Cheese, he tailored his Gothitelle specifically to take out my Terrakion, so you better bet I'm going to be preparing with that in mind in this upcoming game, and we'll kind of see how that works out. Other somewhat notable threats would include the Manaphy and Thunderous Eye, as I'm pretty much forced to bring an Unaware Clefable to handle those 2 mons. Even though Gothitelle can so easily trap and trick my Clefable, I have to bring it, because I don't have enough power on my team to be able to out-bulk and be able to outpace a, really just outfight a Manaphy and Thunderous Eye combo. So I'm going to have to be very careful around that as well, and I'm going to have to implement some of the strategies that I used in Week 1 against Trev to be able to effectively carry out my game plan. So that's enough rambling about his team. Let's look at what I'm deciding to bring this week. Now, his most likely leads against me are either the Mega Medicham, because it has such a great matchup against my entire team, and he can seemingly just get off a free fake out and do a bunch of damage to me, or he can lead Bisharp, because Bisharp is by far his best Stealth Rocker, and I 100% expect him to bring Stealth Rocks this week. It's just a matter of if he brings them on Ferrothorn, Bisharp, or Gligar. I don't expect him to bring Ferrothorn against me, and that's because literally 10/11ths of my team is amazing against Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn, it's not an answer to Clefable. If I am a bold Clefable, max defense, and 0 speed, he's not going to do anything to me with Gyro Ball. And I could very easily run Flamethrower and just take it out. So I don't expect him to bring Ferrothorn to wall Clefable. I also don't expect him to bring Ferrothorn to wall Greninja, because I can easily run Hidden Power Fire on Greninja, I can easily run Power Up Punch on Greninja, I can easily just set up on Ferrothorn with so many things on my team. I don't expect him to bring Ferrothorn whatsoever. The other option for rocks is Gligar. Gligar is bad in the format, and I realized that a little bit too late last season, as I did actually draft Gligar, and I am not a fan of Eviolite users in this format. I think Doughblade is the only one that's truly usable. Porygon 2 is okay because it's just naturally bulky. I guess that's the same case for Doughblade, but as far as other Eviolite users, I do not recommend them whatsoever for the format. Anyway, mini rant over. So with that in mind, I do fully expect Bisharp to be his rocker, and with that said, I would not be surprised at all if Bisharp was his lead. And if that were to be his lead, he likely would run Focus Sash, which is the same set that he ran in my Week 9 matchup with him. Okay, so with that in mind, I decided to design an anti-lead for this game, and I had to look through my mons to determine what would be the best answer to either Bisharp or Mega Medicham, as those are both of his potential leads against me, his most likely leads. And I actually do have one mon that is able to very effectively deal with both of them, and that is my Dragonite. Now, I'm not able to run a Speedy Dragonite this week because of the fact that both Bisharp and Mega Medicham have a lot of priority and are likely to be able to get off 2 hits against me if things don't go exactly how I want them to. So I want to make sure I have plenty of HP on Dragonite, and I'm running 184 HP EVs with a Yacha Berry to make sure that I can guaranteed survive an Ice Punch from an Adamant Mega Medicham. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be running Inner Focus instead of Multiscale, and that's of course because I don't want to be faked out, because Multiscale is pretty useless, honestly, if there's going to be a fake out user on the opposing side, and Dragonite has the ability to use Inner Focus, so I might as well abuse that in this particular game. Now, I did test this concept against Cheese in my Week 9 matchup. I used an Inner Focus Alakazam lead, and while it did not work immediately as my lead, as he did lead with Bisharp, it did work later on, and I was able to take out the Mega Medicham with my Alakazam after a fake out. And that was a very, very nice piece of information to have, that Cheese might get a little bit reckless when it comes to his fake outing with Mega Medicham. So I'm going to try to abuse that this week by leading with Dragonite, and assuming he's either going to lead with Bisharp or lead with Mega Medicham, and hopefully I can get a kill immediately in this game, and that would be fantastic for the remainder of the battle. So just a little more information on the moveset. As you can see, Dragon Dance, Outrage, Superpower, Ice Punch. Outrage is like 97% chance to OHKO. The Mega Medicham, assuming 4 HP EVs. Superpower is there for the Bisharp. Mainly, it's also good against the Ferrothorn if he decides to lead with that. It's also good against the Porygon 2. That's the bigger reason to have it, I guess. But, I mean, Bisharp's obviously huge because I do expect that to be his lead. And then I have Ice Punch. I was kind of torn between Ice Punch and Fire Punch here. I did decide to go with Ice Punch just due to the unlikelihood of him bringing Ferrothorn and the high likelihood of Togekiss appearing in this match, and I would like to have something against Togekiss if it wants to get out of hand or it wants to try to switch in against me. I can set up a Dragon Dance and 2-hit KO with Ice Punch generally. So that's kind of the thought with this, and yeah, I'm expecting this to definitely work out how I want it to. The goal is to get rid of his lead, not let him get any momentum early, so that's the plan. Next up, I decided to bring Groot, the Mega Venusaur. Now, Mega Venusaur's matchup against his team is pretty terrible, and I realize that. But the thing is, I guess I have 2 reasons for bringing this here. The one reason is kind of a psychological thing, in that Mega Venusaur is 7-0 on my team this season. He has won every single game that he has come to. So when I build around Mega Venusaur, I win games, regardless of matchup. So I am going to bring him, and I'm going to find a way to use him effectively. And there is a way to use him effectively, despite the fact that he has Latios, despite the fact that he has Manaphy, that can Psychic on, like Tail Glow Psychic on me, despite the fact that he has Thunderous Eye, which can Nasty Plot Psychic on me, despite the fact that he has Bisharp, which theoretically can Swords Dance and Iron Head flinch me to death. He has Gothitelle, which can trap me. He has Togekiss that can Air Slash me to death. He has Scolipede, which with a Life Orb is actually kind of a threat to Mega Venusaur, and he has Mega Medicham. He has so many things that are great against Mega Venusaur. Why would I bring it? Well, I think I'm going to catch him off guard. And the fact that Mega Venusaur has access to Sleep Powder is actually huge against his team. He has nothing that can switch into a Sleep Powder besides Ferrothorn, but if he wants to bring in Ferrothorn, that's going to be setup fodder. I'm going to set up all over Ferrothorn. He's not going to bring it, but I can set up all over it. I know that +6 Facade's not going to do much to Ferrothorn anyway, but he can't do anything to me either, so I'm going to be able to get +6/+6 and have a very fun time. So, I think Mega Venusaur is going to be kind of a dark horse threat in this game. And I think that if I can tailor my team to effectively take out the majority of the things that are meant to deal with Mega Venusaur can actually sweep. And that's crazy to think about considering the matchup, but I'm bringing it, and we're going to see what happens. But it's all going to come down to landing a sleep powder on whatever the threat may be. There's a few things I can switch it in pretty easily on. Like, I can't switch it in on Scolipede if I'm Mega Evolved. I can switch it in on Gligar. I can switch it in on Bisharp if it's not +2 already. I can switch in against Ferrothorn very easily. I can switch in against Porygon too. There's plenty of things I can switch in on and just put it to sleep. And that's kind of the goal with this. Put it to sleep, and if it's time to curse up, I'll curse up and Facade away for the win. So that's kind of the plan with this. And it's going to be a late game sweeper, no doubt. It will not make an appearance until late game, guaranteed. Next up, we have the lure. The Hulk, that is Terrakion, with a Payapa Berry, which is the berry that's going to do half the damage from its super effective Psychic attack. Looking at you, Mega Medicham, and especially looking at you, Gothitelle, as I'm running a Jolly Mega Medicham such that I can outspeed Jolly, I'm running a Jolly Terrakion such that I can outspeed a Jolly Mega Medicham and a timid Manaphy, and I have X-Scissor for the Gothitelle, Close Combat for the Porygon 2, Easy to a KO, and Stone Edge for the Togekiss, and Aerial Ace for the Mega Medicham. So this is purely a coverage mon. Its primary purpose is to eliminate the Gothitelle from play, and if I can get rid of Gothitelle without actually losing a mon to Gothitelle, that is perfect. That's the goal. Get rid of Gothitelle, I can play much more freely with my Clefable with Gothitelle gone, and that's kind of the hope, and we'll see how that goes. X-Scissor is going to be an easy 2-KO on Gothitelle. Even Spec Psychic from Gothitelle cannot OHKO me without a crit with the Payapa Berry. And yeah, this is going to beat Gothitelle hopefully and do a lot of work to the Togekiss and Porygon 2. So that's the idea with that, and then we're going to move on to the Clefable. Now this is an interesting set. It's designed to beat Manaphy. It's designed to beat Thunderous Eye. It's designed to take hits. In fact, it could actually set up on Togekiss, even Paraflinch Togekiss. As long as I have my leftovers intact, which I don't plan to lose, I think Clefable can be a win condition in this game as well, as long as I'm running Cosmic Power and I have a +1 Cosmic Power up on the switch. How am I going to get that up? Well, it's pretty easy against Manaphy. Manaphy cannot set up on me because I am unaware, and if he tries to go for Scald Burns, that is just free Cosmic Powers. And if I have 2 Cosmic Powers up, there is nothing on his team that can 2-KO me. And that is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, he has Bisharp, okay, whatever. As long as he doesn't flinch me with Bisharp, that's fine. But I'm not going to let Bisharp come in on this either. I understand the risk of having Bisharp in against Clefable, that's fine. But I'm expecting Bisharp to be the lead. And if Dragonite takes out Bisharp turn 1, then what is his answer to Clefable? He doesn't have it. So that's the amazing part about this set. Yeah, I'm not running Stored Power, but I really can't run Stored Power in case he decides to save his Bisharp as his counter to the Clefable. But if I do run Stored Power in this set, or in this match, then I guess I would have an incredible matchup against the rest of his team if Bisharp goes down turn 2 or turn 1. So that's something to consider. I might change that before the match, but I probably will just stick with this set and kind of see what happens. So that's the idea with this. This is a Wish Protect set, so not only is this going to be taking hits, it's going to be keeping the rest of my team alive, namely Rotom Heat, which I'll describe here in a little bit, but also will help it get with Mega Venusaur if I do have to send in Mega Venusaur to take a hit from Bisharp, or if I need to maybe heal up my Dragonite so that I can take a hit from Mega Medicham later on. Clefable is there to support the team, and I believe he is ready to do his job. Now next up will be the Rotom Heat. I'm again running, or I guess you haven't seen this yet, but I'm running a dual screen set with Light Clay. Now this is designed to outspeed Jolly Bisharp, and it's going to be my best answer to Scolipede. One of my answers to Scolipede. With rocks off the field, it's definitely a good answer to Scolipede. And with, and it also will outspeed Bisharp so I can take it out with an Overheat. It's also good against Manaphy, especially if I have screens up, and of course with my number 1 switch into Togekiss, as Togekiss is my setup fodder, and I know he's bringing it. There's no way he's not going to bring it. It's his best answer to my Clefable. So I'm most definitely going to be switching this in against the Togekiss if I need to, set up my screens, and that will of course lead to my sweeper, the PZ, with a Lumberry, Nasty Plot, Tri-Attack, Ice Beam, HP Fighting. This beats his entire team. This just flat out beats him. The only thing he can do to save himself from this is to hit me with priority, and I don't expect Bisharp to be sticking around past the first few turns, and all he has left in is Mega Medicham, and if I have a Reflect up, then I'm going to be able to take it out. I just can't take too much damage beforehand, and the goal would be to set up on something that maybe Mega Venusaur puts to sleep, so that's kind of the hope, and if I can get up a Nasty Plot for free without taking damage, I'm going to be in very, very good shape for the remainder of the game. I also have the potential to set up screens with Rotom Heat, go into Clefable, set up a Wish, pass it to PC, and then I'll have a free Nasty Plot there as well. So that's kind of the idea, and I don't need agility in this game. His team is slow. I am designed to outspeed Adamant Mega Medicham, which is what Cheese brings every week, which is really nice. I don't really have to be too concerned about him potentially bringing Jolly Jolly Mega Mana Jam. And yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens with that. But that's the team overall. And like I said, I'm really proud of this team. And I feel like this is the best team building I've ever done for this format. And I'm expecting it to do great things. The only thing that I think can stop me is hacks. And I mean, Cheese is an amazing player, so I can't put that out of the question either. I just think that the movesets that I'm bringing this week are so off the wall that I don't think he will see them coming, especially Mega Venusaur. But in addition, Dual Screens Rotom Heat, Nasty Plot PZ, those are both somewhat expected, as I did bring Dual Screens PZ or Dual Screens Rotom Heat last time I played Cheese, but he can't do anything about it either, because I can set up on Togekiss all day long. I don't care, I can threaten it out with Thunderbolt. He can't just sit in there defog, he'll lose his Togekiss that way. Clefable with Cosmic Power, he will not see that coming. Who would bring a Cosmic Power Clefable against a team with a Bisharp? I would. Terrakion, he will not expect that to be my counter to his Gothitelle. He's just gonna fall. I feel like he's gonna fall for all the traps, and hopefully it works out that way. But I guess we'll see. I'm a little nervous about the match coming up. I can't deny that. But like I said, I feel confident in the team, and I think if I'm going to beat Cheese this season, this is going to be the time I do it, and that's what I would like to see for the playoffs. Give it my all, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you are looking forward to the match tomorrow. I know I am, and I will see you all then. Thanks for watching.